Here we have the Bair greasable alloy wheel that fits the Caterpillar 247, 257, and the ASV TEREX 30, 35, 50, and 60 machines. We are going to illustrate how to pack the bearings, install the seals and wheel on the axles with the proper preload. Before installing a Bair wheel, remove the factory washer on the back side of the wheel by the frame. Do not reinstall when using Bair wheels. On the first and fourth 10-inch mid-bogie wheels, you may need to slide the frame for installation. Remove the two retaining bolts at the main frame pivot shaft, one front, one rear. Slide the main frame out and away from the body of the machine 1 to 2 inches. The wheels will now clear the Torflex suspension knuckle. Grease packing bearings. Bair Products recommends this process for packing grease into bearings. The grease must be forced into the bearing between the case and the bearing and all around the bearing. You will see the grease coming out between the inner and outer frame of the bearing. If you have a cone bearing packer, that's great. If not, this is the recommended way to pack bearings. After the bearing is packed, go ahead and put grease around the exterior of the bearing before installation. When the bearing is properly packed, drop it into the hub on the back side of the wheel. Here we are showing the different versions of seals and the open and closed ends of the seals. Install the seals with the open ends of the seal facing inboard. Install the seal deep enough to allow the proper seating of the locking retainer ring. The wheel is now ready to install on the axle shaft. With the Bair Products name and part number facing you, slide the wheel onto the axle and tap it into place. The outer bearing is then installed with the anti-spin washer snug against the bearing. Then the star locking washer installs next to the anti-spin washer. If the locking washer feels too tight for easy installation, use a deep well 3/4 inch socket to gently tap it into place. Do not bend it. Now run the nut to approximately 50 foot-pounds to shove the seal all the way down on the shaft so we don't get a false bearing preload. Then back it off to 0 and then put about 1 foot-pound of torque on it or hand tighten the nut. Next, take a flat-tip screwdriver or other tool and bend the locking tabs down on the flats of the nut. Finally, take a center punch and stake the nut between the shoulder of the nut and the threads. Make fairly deep craters, but don't worry, you'll be able to get the wheel off in the future if needed. Now it's locked down. The advantage of Bair's greasable alloy wheel assembly over the rubber plastic factory versions is that this wheel is designed bearing preload adjustable. If after some number of operational hours you have a wheel that is wobbly, you simply pull the dust cap, unlock the wheel, and reset your torque until the wobble is gone. Then lock it back down and put the unit back into service. The factory wheel is not preload adjustable. Once they start to wiggle, you're going to lose them. Now we're going to install the dust cap. Take note. Remove the grease fitting on the outside of the wheel so the air can vent out as the cap goes on. Please remember to reinstall the grease fitting. This is another advantage of the Bair wheel assembly over original equipment. You can lube your wheels with a grease gun, and the factory wheels you cannot. The seals are designed to be purgeable, so after you've put on a couple of 100 hours, you can grease your wheels, and when the grease comes out the back of the hub, you know the cavity is full. Also, this process ensures that any contaminants that may have found their way into the bearing assembly may be flushed out by the grease. The final snap ring is installed and the assembly is complete. Caution: when the assembly is newly installed, the rear seal is very tight. The bearing should already be packed with grease. If you choose to add additional grease through the grease fitting, use caution. Too much pressure will blow out the outer dust cap and destroy the snap ring groove.